What's up everyone, I just finished Legend of Korra Season 2, so I thought I'd review it. Quick note, this video will have spoilers for the first 2 seasons of Legends of Korra, as well as all 3 seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So obviously, if you haven't watched any of those, don't watch this video. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's a huge help. Anyways, let's get into the video. So heading into this season, my hopes were fairly high. I was kind of mixed on season 1, and I was pretty hopeful that the season would kind of bring things back to the level you expect from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And this is the first season where we're really going to see what an Avatar does when they're not like learning an element. Obviously, Aang throughout his entire series, he's got one goal, and that's to defeat the Fire Lord and learn all the elements. Season 1 of this, Korra was learning airbending and trying to become really the Avatar. So this show, this season was gonna be the first season where we really had a full Avatar and kind of see how that plays out. And this season is all about like spirits in the spirit world and how Korra interacts with it. Since apparently in the world of Avatar, there always has to be the main character, or the Avatar always has to be learning something. And since Korra had no elements to learn, I guess we're just gonna have her learn the spirit world. Essentially, the plot for the first part of the season is Korra making her connection with the spirit world, because she's having a hard time connecting to the spirit world, so she's trying to figure out why that is, and Tenzin's helping her and everything. Meanwhile, Unalaq, who is the leader from the North Water tribe, he comes to the South Water tribe, and he wants to unite the two groups, and he essentially invades them and starts a civil war, because that's, I guess, his means to unite the groups. And throughout the season, we learn he's a lot more villainous than his original intentions. At the beginning, he was kind of just like a politician who wanted to push a new idea, and at the end, he's trying to destroy the world. About midway through the season, we get a 2-part episode that follows the first Avatar and really the origin of the Avatar. And essentially, he's in a world where the spirits are running around everywhere, and there are these big, colorful spirits. And it really just describes how things came to be the way they were with the spirit world, with the good spirits and the bad spirits, and why things are the way they were, or where they are right now in the show. Anyways, just to quickly sum up the rest of the season, Unalaq teams up with the bad spirit, and he essentially wants to destroy the world and bring 10,000 years of darkness. And Korra wants to bring balance to the spirit world, and she teams up with the good spirit, and there's a big fight. There's a lot more spirit world stuff that happens in the episodes building up to it. In the last episode and the last couple episodes, they have a fight. Obviously, Korra wins, and she decides not to close the portal to the spirit world. So now all the colorful spirits are going to be running around, and that's so I guess that's going to be a change. We'll see how that plays into season 3. And that's really a brief summary of the season. Obviously, there's a lot more depth in the 14 episodes that you got, but mainly it's just the season's all about spirits. You're gonna hear me say that word a lot. So I'm kind of mixed on this season. So first, let's look at what I thought the season did well. I don't think there's a ton of great things this season did well, but so this section will be kind of short, but I do have a few things I would like to point out. Overall, I like the concept of this season a lot more than the first one. This season felt more organized, more thought out, and more structured than the previous season, and it certainly wasn't as rushed. And that was one of my big issues with last season, is it was just everything happened so quickly. This season was definitely more timed out, a little better, and I really like that they took risks this season. They didn't really play it safe. There's a throwback episode where they revealed the origin story of the Avatar. And there's other things in there in this season as well that they're taking risks, and I like that. I don't want this show to be this generic puppet of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I want it to be its own thing, while obviously not infringing and ruining Avatar, but making it itself its own show and separating itself from Avatar. And I love this world of the bending and avatars, and I always enjoy when they explore it deeper, and I want them to. And I'm really glad that the show did at least a little bit of that. Hopefully next seasons will explore more of this world. And I thought the back half of this season was actually pretty good. Probably my favorite part of the entire series so far was the last 4 episodes, probably post the origin episode of the Avatars. I thought the show got pretty good, and it really had a strong finish with a good ending, and the fight scenes were good and they were intense. And overall, this show just finished. I thought the show finished very strongly. Also, I enjoyed throughout the seasons. I enjoyed some of the characters like Bolin and Tenzin and his family are pretty cool. I thought the twins that came from the Northwater tribe were kind of funny, and their arc with Bolin was pretty funny and enjoyable to watch. So that's it for the good. Obviously, there's not a ton, but there certainly was some elements I did like about it. So now let's look at the negative. Alright, it's important to understand that I'm a huge diehard fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, so a lot of my issues with this series come from me liking that show so much. First off, I thought the first half of the season really struggled. Like I mentioned, it finished strong. I found that in the first half, it was really hard to care about the plot with like the two water tribes fighting and Korra kind of trying to sort things out and trying to master the spirit world. I didn't find any of that intriguing. I had a hard time caring about what was happening. And I was like corpsing through the first few episodes, and the plot just moved really slow. Building up to that origin episode, I really see that as like a halfway point in the series, because I thought it turned around after that. In those episodes it turned around, and then after that the show was pretty good. And it seems like every character in the show, aside from like Tenzin, just wants to go to war, and they're warmongers. Like they all just want to like kill each other. Like at the beginning, Korra wanted to go to war with Unalaq with like little to no convincing. And then later that episode, she like convinced Iroh, which is like Zuko's nephew. She convinced him to go to war with like one sentence. It doesn't make any sense. And like it's especially frustrating because you come off of Avatar, which Aang never killed anyone throughout the entire series, and they made a point about that. And that's one of the things that made Aang as a character so good, and really the show so good. And it's just frustrating when you have, Korra as the Avatar. Obviously, she doesn't have to be a shell of Aang, but, when she's doing stupid stuff, and but it's not like stupid mistakes. Like, Aang would make mistakes, and he would do things that would cost his group, but he would make up for them, and he would learn from those experiences. Korra, it just feels like she's always, doing dumb things, and then, next plot starts, and that goes in part to the writing, and the show is just, kind of rushed. The writing's kind of rushed, and development's always been rushed since season 1. And I know the season played out a little longer, but at times I think the character development, especially of Korra, has been rushed. Another negative for me this season was I don't like all this new spirit stuff. I found it kind of cheesy with how colorful they were. It kind of looked like Easter morning or something with a huge egg hunt going on with all these different colored spirits running around. I didn't dig it at all. And they weren't really there in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There was some talk of spirit world. There was a lot of talk of spirit world, but there wasn't much talk of physical spirits, especially all these colored spirits running around in Avatar. So that's it's always annoying when that's completely absent from the previous series, and all of a sudden it's a huge deal in this one. Another issue when comparing the two series is why is Korra using the Avatar state so much? It took Aang 3 seasons to master it, as well as him almost dying at the end of season 2 when Zuko hit him with lightning, and him almost hurting his group with it in another episode. Yet Korra really learned it in 1 season, and she's just going in and out of it like it's nothing. And I don't like characters that are super powerful and can just do whatever they want. I like characters that have flaws and characters that struggle to win. And it seems like Korra, if she's so good at the Avatar state, why is she not always doing it? There's no depth there. There was with Aang. Another kind of minor issue with this season is I really don't like the boyfriend girlfriend arc with Korra, Asami, and Mako. I found it kind of stupid and pointless, and every time they brought it up, I was just please stop talking about it. It was not a good plot at all, and it really just seemed Mako seemed like an asshole with him, dating both of them and breaking up with both of them. It just seems like some drama show that I don't want to watch. But for me, the biggest issue with the season is just simply not intriguing. I don't care about any of the characters for the most part, as well as the story. I'm just not interested in what's happening, which is frustrating because every time I watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm so invested and I can't really stop watching it until I finish it, because it's so good. And then you look at this show and I'm just really struggling to get into it, and I really want to like it, and because I love this world so much. But this show it feels like every step of the way it's let me down, and it feels like it's progressively getting worse with the character development, and there really isn't any character development. And yes, the plot in this season was alright at times, but the damage was done by the end of the season, and you wanted the season to be over when it finished. So that's it for the negative. I could go on a lot more with the negative. The show has really frustrated me at times, especially, once again, I say it a lot, but I'm such a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's probably my favorite TV show ever, and this show it's let me down a lot. Just a quick recap. In one aspect with this season, I thought the plot was good and it finished strong, but at the same time, the writing was certainly rough at times, and I have a hard time caring about the different plots and characters throughout the season. I'm going to give this season a 5 out of 10 or a 50%, whatever you want to call it, and a D+ for overall value. I would recommend this season to anyone who obviously watched season 1. I would say, go for season 2. Don't stop watching. Just finish the series. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it beyond that point. If you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, absolutely go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. It's one of the best shows ever made, in my opinion. And then maybe if you finish that, you can come around to this show. Alright, and that will do it for my review of Legend of Korra Season 2. Stay tuned for my review of the rest of the season 3 and 4 in the coming weeks, as well as an eventual ranking of all 7 seasons of the show. I'm really excited to do that and really just cross-compare Avatar to this. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's a huge help. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.